Hello guys, welcome to today's video. So today I have another bike over here, which is a Polygon Urbano, but I already have a review about a Urbano previously. What makes this bike different will be that was a Urbano 3 and this is a Urbano 5. Now what's the difference? Watch this video until the end and you will find out more. So as usual, this video will be break down into a few different parts. First, of course, will be the frame set. Second, group set. Third, wheel set. Fourth, finishing kit. And the last part will be 3 things I like and 3 things I don't like. So as I mentioned in my previous Urbano 3 video, Polygon is an Indonesia brand that manufacture their bike mainly in Indonesia, and it's kind of popular in Malaysia as well. Back then, during 2020 and 2021, when MCO in Malaysia kicked in, Polygon Urbano was one of the hottest selling model in Malaysia. You can see a lot of new cyclists actually started with this bike, and this is kind of a facelift edition of that. So now if you want to watch another video about Urbano 3, I'll put the link over here and you can click and watch. Now let's start with the frame set. So as you can see over here, this Urbano 5 is actually a folding bike, and it's kind of like a traditional bifold folding bike where you have the main hinge at the middle of the main tube. You have a rear triangle over here with a little bit of curve. I think this is to cater for a bigger tire clearance. The clamp over here is nothing special. It's kind of like a standard folding bike clamp where you have a safety lock and also you have a main hinge clamp. You can see over here at the connecting point, it connects to each other instead of just 2 flat surface. So this means it is much more precise in terms of the molding. So this is an aluminum frame and Polygon call them a ALX alloy. What is exactly aluminum material? I'm not too sure, but it seems like most of the Polygon bike, they will use the term as ALX. The welding is not too bad. It's actually decent enough. You can see it is quite tidy. You also have your rear rack mount over here and over here at your seat stay, and also you have your water bottle cage mount at the main tube. Now the fork in front, this is slightly different when you compare to Urbano 3. For Urbano 5, the fork is actually an aluminum fork, while the Urbano 3, it is a high-tension steel fork. So of course, by using aluminum, it will be lighter. The head tube over here, you also have your front brackets mount, which is something that is really good to have. So you can have a bracket. It's widely available on Shopee. You can buy, and then of course you can mount your bag in front. There's also a kickstand mount over here. Like I always say, 20-inch folding bike is always welcome. If I ever own this bike, I probably will upgrade the kickstand, become a double kickstand, just because I like how it looks. And of course, nothing surprise, since the Urbano 3 is a disc brake bike, this is also a disc brake folding bike. You can see there is a magnetic system over here as well, so when you fold it down, your bike will always stay folded. Now one thing that I really like about this new version Polygon Urbano will be the colorway. The paint job over here is something like a teal color, and also you have this, I don't know what color it is. It's kind of like a pink and orange graphic that says Urbano. You have your Polygon logo over here, Polygon brand over here, and also you have that sticker at the wheel set. That's pretty much about the frame, I guess. Now let's move on to the group set. So now, usually bike brand, they will have different categories of finishing to cater for different group of cyclists. In this case, the Urbano 3 are much more affordable, while Urbano 5 are actually targeted to someone who kind of know what you're buying. First thing that I realized when I get this bike will be the hydraulic disc brake. So the overall component over here at Urbano 5 are more advanced compared to Urbano 3. If you are someone who are already riding a bike or doing enough research, you probably know it is worth it to go straight to Urbano 5 instead of 3. Rear derailleur, Shimano Sora 9-speed, 1134. Front crankset, there's no brand, but it looks kind of better compared to Urbano 3. It's actually 53T compared to the Urbano 3, which use a square taper crankset. This is using Shimano Holotech 2 crankset. It is lighter and also it is stiffer. So another upgrade compared to Urbano 3 will be the hydraulic disc brake. It is by Tektro using mineral oil over here, and also the caliper is by Tektro. So what's the difference of mechanical disc and hydraulic disc? To be frank, both have their pros and cons, but both perform well when the condition is wet compared to rim brake. So if you're using a hydraulic disc brake, the whole braking experience will be much more smoother, and also it will be a bit more easier when you're controlling your braking force. Compared to mechanical disc, it actually doesn't come with a very good reputation. When it is dry, your rim brake might be performed better than your mechanical disc. But of course, the downside will be the mechanical disc will be much more easier in terms of maintenance, while the hydraulic disc brake will need a bit more effort in terms of maintenance. This rotor, it is by Tektro. It is 160 at the front and also 160 at the back. The shifter is a Shimano Altus. 9-speed. You have your gear display window, and also you can shift with your thumb and also index finger. That's pretty much. The chain is a 9-speed chain. I guess it's a KMC. That's it. Now let's move on to the wheel set. Another differentiate the Urbano 3 and Urbano 5. This Urbano 5 is actually using 451 wheel, while the Urbano 6 is using 406. There is a slight difference in terms of diameter, huge difference in terms of tire choice, and also 451 actually roll much better compared to 406. The wheel over here, it seems like an OEM wheel. You can see the Urbano sticker over here, nothing very special. The rim is in black, the hub, there's no brand stated. I can see the tube is using Presta valve, while the tire is actually by V Tire. If I'm not mistaken, V Tire is actually a brand under the same umbrella as Polygon as well. Tread looks very sleek. It looks fast, and at the same time it looks very grippy. So you have your quick release. So that's it about the wheel set. There's nothing really special, and this is the freewheel sound check. So now we have covered the frame set, the group set, and also the wheel set. The next will be the finishing kit. Now the finishing kit over here, usually when bike that price at this price, there will be a lot of OEM parts. There's no surprise to this bike as well. For the seat post, you can see it's a pretty generic seat post without any marking. It would be great if it come with the height marking so that you don't have to agak-agak every time you open or fold the bike. You have a saddle that's come from Entity. Entity is a house brand for Polygon which produce their component. I like the grip over here because it does come with a palm rest. This, if I'm not mistaken, it comes from Entity as well. So the handle post, it is actually telescopic, and it is something good to have if you are not so familiar with your riding posture. Of course, you can adjust how high or how aggressive you want to be. The handlebar, 25.4 diameter aluminium bar. You have bell over here which make this bike road legal ready. Aluminium foldable pedal. You can fold it down. I guess that's it. It's pretty standard bike if you ask me. There's nothing surprise from this bike, and it is kind of like one of the best value for money folding bike if you are started out. So decent price at 2000 plus minus mark. Proper brand, proper components, hydraulic disc brake, 9-speed, Shimano Holotech 2 crankset, everything is just on point. Now let's go to 3 things I like and 3 things I don't like. Now here come the 3 things I like and 3 things I don't like. The first thing I like definitely will be the decent specs. Everything is just on point. It don't have to be super high end, but it is modern enough. The Holotech 2 bottom brackets, the shifter, the cassette, the chain, the crankset, the hydraulic brake, and so on. It is modern, but it's not high end. So with this bike, if you don't want to upgrade anything, it's totally fine in terms of performance. The second things will be the affordable price with a proper brand. Polygon is not a super high-end brand, but at least it is a brand that already in the market for long enough that they have a very good second-hand demand and also support in the market. While this bike only priced at around 2000 each, 2000 plus minus, this is an extremely good value for money bike to start with. The thing that I like will be the practicality of the bike. From the mudguard mount kickstands, rack mount, and so on. You can turn this bike into any way you want it to be it your commuters, be it a touring bike, be it your recreation bike, no problem at all. Now, 3 things I don't like. Okay, to be frank, I don't have 3 things I don't like, I only have 2. So this is more like a 3 versus 2 kind of thing. The first thing that I don't like will be the folding mechanism. While every removable parts is modern enough, but the folding mechanism is relatively old, like slightly older. You have an extendable handle post, and this will translate to lower stiffness. Same as Urbano 3, since the frame is the same, the bike actually creaks for quite a bit, especially when you put on the power to climb. So this might be a bit annoying. So the second thing that I don't like is actually not really this bike problem, but as I always say, 20-inch folding bike folder size is not compact enough. It's not compact enough to put in the luggage to travel around. It's not compact enough to put under your table. It's not compact enough for you to carry around. Just like my other 20-inch bike videos, this is not exactly this bike issue, but it is just something that you need to take note if you decided to get this 20-inch bike. And that's it for this bike. I think this bike is really great, where I can't even find the third things that I don't like. And if you like this video, do subscribe to the channel and also hit the little bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Until the next one, bye bye.